Thank you for joining me today. I will be creating a card using the new release from Pink and Maine, Turtley Amazing. But first, let's take a look at the new die. This is called the Fancy Shells die, and I decided to cut it out with gold foil. And isn't that pretty? It's so intricate and delicate looking. You can also inlay the pieces for a different look. Either way, I think it's really pretty. But for my card today, we're going to create an underwater scene using the cute turtles from the stamp set. I decided I want to use the seaweed, the shell, the starfish, and the coral that's included in the set. I'm also using the sentiment, "You are totally amazing." I want to turn this into a Father's Day card, so I thought that sentiment would be perfect. So here I'm just lining up all the stamps how I want my scene to go. I'm going to stamp out my images in Memento Tuxedo Black ink on Nina Solar White 110-pound weight paper. Here I am mapping in the bottom of the ocean floor. So I'm using some browns in the E family. I'm going to start with a lighter brown just to map it out, and then go back over with my darkest and working my way down to my lightest color. Here I'm using the dotting technique. I wanted the floor and the sea to kind of like blend together. I didn't want a harsh line, so I'm just using the dotting technique, and it makes for an easy sand look. So I'm going to color in the seaweed with greens. I'm going to start with my darkest and create a shadow on the right hand side of each of the leaves. I'm using G99, and then I will work my way down until I get to my highlight, which I'm going to use Y11, which is the yellow for my highlight. I think using the yellow for the highlight gives it a lot of contrast. I really like the way it turned out. I'm going to use B09 for the shadows inside the coral, and then I'll work my way down to B06 and then in B04. Here I get out my phone and Google sea turtles so I can get an idea of how to color up the cute little turtles. So I want to use some dark browns on the shell. So I start with the E37, and then I work my way down to my lightest color. going to start mapping out my waves. So I'm just taking a light blue and make little wavy lines. And I'll use some various blues to give it some interest, and I will even throw in a pink color in there. Keep working back and forth with the colors. Go back with your lightest color and work those colors through. I got out my Copic multi-liner and I just traced the waves at the top. I like how it separated the sky from the sea. I decided to cut some more images out, so I just fussy cut them out, used my two-way glue pen, and I'm gluing them right on top of the other images. I wanted it to look a little bit more fuller at the bottom, so I really like how this turned out. Just centering my card piece here, and I decided I want to stamp something on the inside. So I'm using that cute little turtle that looks like he's just plopped out on the floor with a blue color that matched my card base. So I used the Distress Oxide ink in Broken China, and that really stamps nicely. So I really like how that turned out. So we could have called the card done here, but I decided to use my Wink of Stella and add some glitter. So I glittered up the seaweed, the coral, the shells, and the starfish. Should have called it quits there because I did a little blob right on his face, right over his eye. I was so upset. But after it dried, it didn't look as bad. So I wanted to put some stardust jelly pen on the little starfish there and the seashells. And then I decided to use the black glaze pen for the eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys liked the card. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye, everyone.